Dividend is the return paid by companies trades equity shareholders out of its earnings during a year. And now, if dividends means the entire earnings are paid as dividends to its equity shareholders, company may not be in a position to take up its investment projects. So to take up these investment projects, it has to again go for getting finance from either way of debt or equity. Now, the financial manager is under a situation of dilemma, whether to give dividend or to retain these earnings. Under these dividend decisions, we have dividend policies or dividend models. We have three models suggested by Mr. Walter, Gordon and Modiglani Miller. Namaste, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to explain you Walter's model. Now, what is this Walter's model? As I said earlier, a financial manager is under a situation of dilemma. His earnings, company's earnings, whether to declare as dividend or to retain them so that they can take up future investment projects, right? So to take up these investment projects, you require money. If whatever earnings you have, if you pay as a dividend, then company has to go for getting these capital either from way of debt or equity. So what is this Walter's model is suggesting? What are its assumptions? Let us see today. As I said, the objective of any firm is shareholders' wealth maximization. Means if dividend is paid to its equity shareholders, what is its effect on market price of share? That is P. If market price of share is getting affected, means dividend decisions are affecting market price of share. Hence, this Walter also suggested that under this model, dividend decisions affect market price of share. That means this is a relevance model. It is a relevance model. Now, what is his proposal? Let us see. Walter has tried to propose his theory dividend model using two important concepts. One is R, required rate of return on investment or internal rate of return, and K naught, which is cost of capital, overall cost of capital. And he has divided this assuming if R is greater than K naught, if R is equal to K naught, if R is less than K naught. Three different situations are assumed. What are these situations? When these retained earnings are invested on a project, what is the return you are getting? R. If R is greater than K naught, overall cost of capital. What is the optimal dividend policy in case of this situation? If R is equal to K naught, means return is equal to K naught, what is the optimal dividend policy? If R is less than K naught, what is the dividend policy? So these things are explained here. When R is greater than K naught, he has given a name to such firms called as growth firms. And he has also proved that in case of growth firms, optimal dividend payout ratio is 0%, which means that these firms should not pay dividend. It has to retention ratio is 100%. Full earnings company has to retain, and it has to take up these investment projects because return is greater than cost. So for growth firms, he has said that optimal dividend payout ratio is 0%. Whereas the third firm, he has given a name called as declining firms. Declining firms. In case of these firms, if company is retaining any amount, market price of share would be less. So for such a firm, he has suggested that optimal dividend payout ratio is 100%, at which market price of share will be maximum. Whereas in this case, in first situation, the market price of share would be maximum when dividend payout ratio is 0%. And in between these two, there is again a situation where R is equal to K naught. These firms are called as normal firms. And for such firms, there is no optimal payout ratio. It may vary from 0 to 100%. In any of these situations, market price of share will remain constant. So, even if company is paying dividend 100% or it is not paying completely, it is retaining, there is no effect on market price of share. It remains constant because return is same, K naught, cost is also same. So for such firms, market price of share will remain constant. So this is his proposal, which is based on certain assumptions. Now look at these assumptions. First, the firm has infinite life, means perpetual life. It will continue its business in future too for infinite number of years. Then, all profitable investments are financed through retained earnings. Retained earnings. Whatever earnings are there, company will retain them, and that amount only it will use to finance its profitable investments, which means that there is no chance of getting funds from external sources of funds like either debt or equity. It is not going to bring money, capital from any of these sources, which means that no question of external financing. No external financing, right? Then R and K naught. R is return on investment and K naught, they remain constant throughout the period. And then all earnings are either distributed. Whatever earnings are there for the company by the end of the year, they are either distributed or as dividends or reinvested internally. So this amount earnings are either used as used for reinvestment in internal projects, or they are used for distributing as dividend to its equity shareholders. And the last one, at the beginning, whatever earnings and dividends are there, they never change. So these are the assumptions on the based on which this theory, Walter model, is explained. And we apply this formula to calculate market price of share, where D is equal to P is equal to D plus R by K naught into E minus D by K naught. Now what is this? What is given in the formula? D means dividend per share. R, as I said, ROI. K naught is overall cost of capital. E means EPS. E is EPS and D stands for dividend per share. So applying this formula, we can find out market price of share. Now I will take a small example here to explain how can we apply this. How can we apply this Walter's model and how it is going to affect the market price of share. A small example I am taking here, please follow. EPS, earning per share of some, say, assume ABC company is 10 rupees. Then cost of capital is 12%, or return on investment is 5%, and assume dividend per share, firm is paying, say, 8 rupees as dividend, right? Now in this case, let us see market price of share. Market price of share of ABC Limited company is equal to, we know the formula, D plus R by K naught into E minus D whole divided by K naught, right? So this is equal to, dividend per share is given as 8 rupees plus R by K naught. R is given in terms of percentage, 15%, therefore you should write as 0.15 divided by K naught is 12%, 0.12 into earnings is 10 minus 8 dividend whole divided by K naught is 12%, so right here 0.12, which is 87.5 rupees. So out of its earnings, if 80% of the amount is paid, in this case because it is 10 and 8, I am writing here dividend payout ratio is 80%. If 80% of earnings is paid as dividend, then market price of this company is 87.5. Assume in case of similar company where EPS is the same, 10 rupees, and K naught is 12%, R is 15%, and dividend per share, assume only 50% this company is paying as dividend, right? So in such a case, market price of XYZ company is equal to D, dividend 5 plus R by K naught, because they are common here, R is 0.15 divided by K naught is 12%, so 0.12 into E minus D, 10 minus dividend is 5 only, whole divided by 0.12. In this case, it is 93.75. So if you observe, in both these cases, both ABC and XYZ are growth firms. Why growth firms? Because R is greater than K naught. 15% is greater than 12%. So they are growth firms. In case of a growth firm, what is the optimal dividend payout ratio? If you observe this, in first case, ABC company is paying 80% as dividend. In second situation, in case of XYZ company, dividend payout ratio is 50%. So when firm is paying 80%, market price of share is only 87.5, and when it is paying 50% dividend payout ratio, dividend, it is 93.75. Since it is a growth firm, the optimal dividend payout ratio for a growth firm is 0%, which clearly says that it has to retain all earnings and it should not use this amount for any dividend payment. Therefore, using this example, it is clearly observed that when less dividend is paid, market price of share is increasing. Similarly, if you pay 0% dividend, if you retain everything, market price of share would be maximum. Right? Hope you understand this problem and the model also. Happy learning.